Welcome to Lesson 2. In Lesson 2, we're going to use this large piece of graph paper. On there, I have already outlined the view of the block of wood you're going to get, which is this piece here. It's got a hole in the back side. This fits in the top rectangle, just like that. If you turn it on its right side, it will fit that design there. And then the back side fits on this block over here. So for today, we're going to start with the right side view, which is the side of the block of wood like this, and we're going to do our drawing inside this triangle shape. We're going to need two different color pencils. I want a light one and a dark one, so I'm going to use orange for the dark, blue for the light, and you're going to need a metric ruler. We have the metal ones there in the shop. You can use that. I have a wooden one here. So for the first thing we're going to do today is we're going to work on this right side view right here. And to do that, I have to choose the length of my card that I want to use. And I'm going to go back to my criteria sheet for that. The body width has to be a minimum of 200 millimeters to 305. So I'm going to lay my ruler here on the bottom, and I'm going to measure out to, I'm going to go ahead and make mine 205. So I'm going to go to the 20, and I'm going to count 5 lines after the 20 to get to 205. I'm going to make a mark here. Once I make that mark there, then I'm going to take I'm still using my light pencil, and I'm going to draw a nice straight line using my ruler there, showing me that that's where the cutoff is now. So I'm not going to be worrying about this front part of the wood because that's going to get cut off. So and I can even write that on there if that would help you for this video. I'm going to say cutoff. Now, in here I can do my design. The next thing I need to worry about is this is my hole in the back. This is the depth of the hole. So I need to make sure that the whole way around this that I leave 3 millimeters. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure from that hole down. I'm going to use 7 to start with. So I'm just going to put a mark there and a mark there. And then also I need to mark out here. 7 of the lines. And then I'm going to use my ruler and my light color pencil, and I'm just going to very carefully draw a light box around the dark box so that when I'm designing, I don't make a mistake and cut too close to that box. Just like that. I know it's hard to see on here. That's the whole idea of the light pencil. From here now I'm going to design my car, so I can come in and say, well, I'm going to cut this top off a little bit. So I'm going to bring it down to about here. And I'm going to use my dark pencil and I'm going to draw it in. And again, this is your design, so you choose what you want. And I'm going to bring that into here. And then from here, I'm going to run a windshield down there. And then I'm going to want this to curve up and curve back down into my windshield here. I'm going to bring this down, do a curve. Here I'm going to drop, make a wheel well, bring this up, and bring that down here. Okay, now I have my basic design of my car laid out here. The next thing I need to do is figure out my axle holes. So first thing I need to know is from the rear of the car, 9 to 100. So I'm going to come in here, metric ruler, I'm going to measure over. I'm going to put mine at 80. So I'm going to put a mark here. I'm going to do the same thing from the front, make sure that I'm at least 9. I'm going to mark mine at 25 right here. I'm going to make sure between the two holes that I'm between 105 and 207. I am not, so what I need to do is I need to move this hole forward a little bit and this hole back a little bit so that I get to where I need to be. Okay, so here's where my front wheel is going to be. Here's where my back wheel is going to be. Okay, so now I meet those requirements. The next thing I need to do is make sure that I am 5 to 10 from the bottom. I am actually 7 from the bottom there and 7 from the bottom there, so I'm in good shape. So now I have my front view done, or my right side view done. So now I need to go to my top view. To do that, I need to add some extension lines. So the first extension line that I need is going to be that end line here at the end, where that I said the car ended. So I'm going to draw my construction line from there the whole way up. I'm going to use a darker color so you can see it, but you should use a light color. So I'm going to extend that line up, just like that. The next thing that I want to extend up is where this windshield is. So I'm going to extend that up. And you notice I am using a ruler to do this. The straighter your lines, the easier it is for you to work with later on. So I'm going to extend that line up. Then the next thing that I need to do at this point is now design my car. So from here to here is a flat, and I know that. So if I'm looking at my car, looking down on it here, I know that as long as I leave 3 millimeters here, I can thin this out, which I want to do. So I'm going to measure 3 millimeters on each side. Actually, I'm going to leave it a little thicker like I told you before. I'm going to go to 7. I'm going to put a mark here at 7. Another mark at 7. And then on that flat, on this small segment, I'm going to draw my dark line from here to the first line, which is where the windshield starts. And I'm going to do the same thing on this side. The next part is going to be the windshield. So, and I forgot to draw that extension line up, so I'm going to do that now. I'm going to take where the windshield ends. And I'm going to extend that line up. That's where my windshield ends. So I want my windshield to taper in to here and to here. So I'm going to go ahead and line those two marks up. Draw that line. Draw this line. Then the bottom part where the wheels at here in the back, I want that to do something a little different. So I'm going to find where the angle drops. I'm going to run extension line up from that, just like so. I want this part to come to a point, so I find the center, put a mark. I'm going to curve that around and bring it back in just slightly. Like so, and then I'm going to just do a curve out to match them up. So that now I have my top view completely done, okay? And for all intents and purposes, for this, we do not need to do the front view because you're not going to use the front view for anything. So once you have this completed, please have it checked by the instructor before moving on to lesson 3. Good luck. You can go back to this video and watch as many times you need to get this done.